Hello, everyone. I'm Jan Angel, your 26th District State Representative. Thank you for joining me on Legislative Update. Just a few days remain before the scheduled March 11th adjournment of the 2010 legislative session, and there are a lot of moving parts happening here at the Capitol. In the past week, we've seen the lengthy lists of tax increase proposals by the governor, the Senate, and the House of Democrats. I'll get to that in just a minute, but first, I want to shine some light on some very sneaky antics that are going on right here in this legislature in these last hours. This past weekend, at least 7 title-only bills showed up on the introduction calendar. These are bills that contain only a title, but the bill has nothing more written in it. For example, one of the bills introduced has a title of Transferring and Consolidating State Agencies and Programs. It's House Bill 3199. But if you go to read the bill, nothing's contained in it except for the title. This kind of a measure allows it to be amended on the House floor with language the public has not seen, and they will not get a chance to have any input on the bill. Now, I've received hundreds of emails and other contacts from people who do not want the Department of Fish and Wildlife and the Washington State Parks Department placed under the administration of the Department of Natural Resources. They feel these agencies deal with a unique set of circumstances and would be less accountable to the public if they were all combined. The public has been testifying against the tracking the bills that would consolidate these agencies under DNR, and the bills seem to be dead. At least that's what citizens outside of the legislature believe. But I'm now told it's being introduced as a line item in the Senate budget proposal. And now we're seeing this title-only bill introduced. So there's a real possibility that the legislature, the public doesn't want, could get out, tracked into this title-only bill, which no one knows about, and will be quickly passed before anyone knows the difference. There are 6 other title-only bills, many of them with broad titles that would allow the public to be bypassed in the last days and the hours of this legislative session. So I'm very concerned there's no transparency here. When you think a bill is dead, the issue of that measure may be inserted into a title-only bill and then transferred into law before you know it. This is deceptive politics that has no place in the government of the people. Now let's talk a moment about the budget and the tax packages. Democrats are proposing nearly $1 billion in tax increases this year and an additional $2 billion in the following 2 years. It is indeed the largest tax increase in the history of our state. This is the bill that has 89 pages of tax increases. They include extending the sales tax to bottled water, candy, and gum, increasing cigarette tax by $1 a pack, adding sales tax to janitorial services, increasing the B&O tax on lawyers, accountants, marketing and management consultants, repealing the sales tax exemption for out-of-state residents, adding taxes to trucks that haul across states. And the list goes on and on and on. The budget would also rely on one-time money from the federal government. That means in the next budget cycle, there will not be the $5 billion in federal dollars that we received this time. So our budget's going to be even worse than it was last year. In New Jersey, the governor took action to close a budget deficit by declaring a state of fiscal emergency. He froze state spending, cut subsidies to public transit, and urged benefit cuts for public employees. But here in Washington, we're continuing to spend at nearly the very same level as in the past. In fact, spending has only changed by 1%. And the legislature is counting on taxpayers to bail out the state from bad spending decisions. Folks, we're going in the opposite direction of helping this economy. The bottom line here is that these taxes will be devastating to our employers and to our families. $1 billion in new taxes will mean that more people will lose their jobs and have to rely more on government services. And that will push us into a deeper deficit in the 2011-2013 budget cycle. If we want to get out of this recession, we need to reduce taxes and provide policies that will help private employers create new jobs. I have seen none of that happening this year in this legislature. If you share these concerns, I urge you to call the governor, the House Speaker, and the Senate Majority Leader. Tell them we need jobs, not tax increases. The toll-free hotline number is on your screen, 1-800-562-6000. Make that call. I want to thank you again for joining me on Legislative Update. I'm State Representative Jan Angel.